There is no mystery God. Absolutely no mystery God. There is no God in the sky, and there is no devil under the ground. Heaven is not in the sky, and hell is not under the ground. Heaven and hell are conditions of the mind, states of existence and states of being. And so Jesus told us to stop looking for heaven in the sky. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that we are the temples of the living God. That the living God lives in our temple, and he does not inhabit the sky, but he inhabits the higher realms of the heavens, of the realm of the secret innermost chambers of the subconscious chamber of the soul of man and woman. And this power bursts forth and emanates forth from him to set in motion a universal order based on principle and law. All of this set in motion by a divine power and a divine force that never dies. It's constant. It just changes forms. God is in man.
God is up there somewhere with keeping notes on all of us.
Now, I don't believe that there's somebody sitting in the sky with his feet propped up on top of the world called God. I believe that God is the presence of good that is within each individual person, whether he knows it or not. And this is where my ministry comes in. It is my ministry to make the individual aware that the presence of God, the presence of all good, the potential of good is within each individual and not in the sky somewhere.
But traditionally, especially in the Deep South, it began and of course has spread to the urban centers of the North, certainly in the last several years. The notion that this doom and gloom under which the spell under which we all are functioning will someday end, and Jesus will take us into his great paradise that he has prepared for us. So cope now, because there is a great reward later.
I usually say, when you find the heaven that is within you, then you will find yourself in heaven. Not until then, because heaven and hell are both states of mind. When a person is in a very doubtful and negative state of mind, he's always going to catch hell. He's going to experience hell. But when the individual finds the heaven, the harmony, the God, the good, the love that is resident in his own being, then he begins to experience heaven.
So when a person says, "Oh Lord, I'm sorry, please help me get through this vale of tears, this valley of temptation," you deplore that, don't you?
Well, if this is the person's only understanding, he has to pray on the level of his understanding. However, the Bible does say, "Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind." And this is what this ministry does. In other words, you change your conditions by changing your self-image. If you see yourself as a person who is in a vale of tears and under conditions and circumstances, that's the way you will be until you change your mind, until you change your self-image.
Is it your view that traditional fundamentalist religion makes it more difficult to change one's mind?
Yes, it does, because here again, you see, in that type of religion, we are taught that either God or the devil are responsible for what happens to us. But in what I call the science of living, or the science of self-awareness, I teach that the individual is responsible for his condition, and not only that, the individual, by using his own mind positively, can change his condition and modify his conditions. And so the responsibility for our lives does not lie with some deity in the sky, but it lies with the God power within each one of us.